Welcome, dear one. It's time to let go now, to settle in beneath the weight of your blanket, letting it rest gently over your body like a woolen cloak drawn across a quiet hillside. Feel the warmth gathering at your chest, rising with each calm breath you take in, and slowly, softly, exhaling all the weight of your day. Let your eyes grow heavy, your jaw soften, your hands curl slightly as you let them rest. Nothing to do now, nowhere to be. Just this moment, just this stillness, just the sound of my voice, here with you in the hush of night. As we drift together, we'll step softly into another world. A world long past, but never truly gone. A world of straw roofs and fire-warmed stones. A village, small and wine-kissed, resting beneath the watch of the moon. The air is cool, almost crisp, the way it is just before the first frost. The stars above are dimmed by the veil of cloud that stretches over the sky like a woolen shroud, heavy and thick. Somewhere far off, an owl speaks a single, hollow call, and the trees answer only with the rustle of dry, curling leaves. Below those trees, nestled among mossy stones and patches of fading heather, sits a cottage, small, hunched, and ancient. Its roof sags just slightly under its own age. It wears its years like a tired smile. The thatch is golden brown and slightly damp with dew. Smoke curls upward from the crooked chimney, slow and lazy, like it has nowhere to go and all the time in the world to get there. In the corner of the single room, a straw mattress lies across wooden slats, not a bed as we know them, not stuffed with feathers or folded linens, but a burlap sack, sewn by hand, filled with the husks of wheat harvested weeks ago. It smells faintly of sun-dried fields. It crinkles when someone moves softly, like rustling parchment. And yes, there is someone there, too, in fact. The kind of sleep born from long days, wool pull-in water fetching, and watching geese fly south with the season. Outside, a breeze sighs through the cracks in the cottage walls. It slips between the wooden beams and lingers by the edges of the room. You can hear it if you listen, like a whisper from the forest, or a forgotten lullaby carried on the wind. Just there, like this. Hua. An iron pot sits beneath a straw bed. It was filled with hot coals before nightfall, an old custom. The heat rises gently, trapped beneath the bedding, warming the straw from below. It's not enough to make the room toasty. No, but it takes the edge off, keeps the frost from crawling up the toes. This is how villagers slept. Together, often in one room. Parents, children, sometimes even the chickens in colder months. A sleeping space wasn't private. It was shared. Sacred, simple. The flicker of firelight, the scrape of a mouse across a beam, the deep stillness between breaths. The wind picks up again outside, a little louder this time. Shutters creak softly on their hinges. The straw roof rustles, whispering lullabies made from the threads of leaves and twigs. And somewhere nearby, a dog barks. Just once, then silence. The kind of silence that feels wrapped in wool, thick, gentle, full. Near the hearth, there's a wooden stool, worn smooth from years of use. A pair of boots rest near by soft leather, cracked and patched, a little damp around the toes. They were taken off carefully before sleep, laces loosened by fingers that have milked cows, stitched seams, unneeded dough. Beside them, a bowl of cold porridge, left half finished, a spoon resting inside it, tilted ever so slightly. The kind of scene left, not out of carelessness, but fatigue. Quiet, surrender. You can almost feel the heaviness of the day fading into the floorboards. The kind of heaviness that doesn't hurt, but hums the body, tired but proud. The mind, quiet after long hours of rhythm of work, of weather, of watching the sun through the holes in the roof. There is a small cloth doll tucked into the straw mattress. Its eyes are painted in black ink. Its smile, worn thin by countless tiny fingers tracing its face before sleep. The child clutches it now, held just under their chin. Somewhere in the corner, under a loose floorboard, something moves. A soft skitter, a mouse, perhaps, or just the wind again. In medieval homes, such companions were common, uninvited, but not always unwelcome. Outside the cottage, the trees lean together in the breeze. Branches sway like old dancers, bowing to the moon. The world is quiet, still, safe. And inside this humble, creaking room, dreams begin to settle like soft dust on every beam. You can hear them if you listen. The child murmurs something sweet and meaningless in sleep. The fire answers with a hiss. The wind replies with another hush. Time doesn't move here. It rocks, gently, like a cradle. Forward and back, forward and back. You are safe. Here, you are warm. Let the straw hold you. Let the wind sing you still. Let your breath match the sleeping rhythm of the cottage. Let your dreams drift to fields of barley, to paths of moss and stone, to the hush between the echoes of another time. Somewhere, far across the misted fields, a rooster lets out a tentative crow. Not loud, not urgent, just enough to suggest that morning might be thinking about arriving, but not yet. Not now. The village still sleeps, tucked beneath the hush of straw roofs and the soft breath of a resting sky. Even the birds have not yet begun their songs. Only the trees speak, rustling lightly as though in conversation with the moon. Inside the cottage, the fire has faded to embers no longer red but dim gold. They look like sleepy eyes half closed, peering through a curtain of soot and ash. A single wisp of smoke curls from the logs, cracked, edgeless. The air holds the earthy scent of wood, of clay walls, of old wool cloaks hanging in the corner. And beneath it all, the scent of crushed straw, faintly sweet, softly musty. This scent, this texture, this silence was the world of sleep in the medieval home. No ticking clocks, no lamps, only the slow-burning fire and the sounds of the world beyond the walls. There is a wooden bowl set by the window, filled with rainwater from the night before. Beside it, a linen cloth, rough and stiff from drying by the hearth. It will be used for washing in the morning. No soap, just water, cool and bracing, splashed across the face as the sun begins to rise. A ritual so simple, so grounding, so quietly medieval in its honesty. But that moment is still hours away. Now, the mother and child sleep on, undisturbed. Their breath creates a faint fog in the cool air, rising and disappearing like whispers. Outside, the dew gathers in tiny beads on every blade of grass, and the sky, above it all, shifts ever so slightly, from charcoal to pewter. Let us drift outside now, just for a moment. Imagine your bare feet pressing into the cool morning earth, soft with moss and the memory of rain. The village path is little more than packed mud and scattered straw, but to those who walk it, it is as familiar as breath. It winds between low stone walls, where wild mint grows between the cracks, and there is, just there you can hear a soft trickle. A stream, winding its way past the baker's hut, whispering as it goes. The cottages are huddled close together, like old friends gathered around a fire. Each one breathes quietly, their shutters closed, their hearths still gently smoldering. You can almost hear the soft rustle of sleep inside them, the quiet turning of bodies beneath coarse woolen blankets. One cottage has a clay pot resting outside its door, covered by a linen cloth. Milk, left to settle into cheese, a daily act, silent and slow. Life, in this world, is not rushed. It unfolds with the rhythm of sun and season, like a lullaby repeated every day, in every corner of the land. Back inside the cottage, the child stirs just slightly, not awake, just shifting. A soft sigh escapes their lips, followed by the gentle creak of the straw beneath them. The mother does not wake. Her hand instinctively rests against the child's back, grounding them. They are both wrapped in the thick, heavy woolen blanket, stitched by hand, years ago. It is scratchy, but warm. It smells of smoke, of sheep's lanolin, and a little of lavender tucked into its folds last summer. Lavender, in fact, was often used to keep insects away from the bedding, a medieval comfort not just for its pleasant scent, but for its quiet protection. Simple, practical, and somehow still magical. Even now, The faintest trace of it lingers in the still air. The wind outside sighs again, a deep exhale, as though the world itself is slipping deeper into sleep. The roof creaks faintly above, not in alarm, but in age. Every beam in this home has a voice. It tells the story of seasons past, of storms weathered, of snow that once piled too high, and now it settles again into stillness. Beneath the straw bed, the floor is stone, uneven, cold, carved from the very land beneath the village. There is no polished wood, no carpeting, only stone and packed earth. But this floor is sacred in its way. It is where meals are taken, knees folded, where boots are removed, where sheep's wool is combed and spun, where stories are whispered, where prayers are said with heads bowed low and hands held together under candlelight. And now, in this hour of night, so deep it forgets its name, this floor simply holds the breath of rest, of a mother, of her child, of a village tucked under stars. The world has gone quiet. Even the wind has grown still. Only your breath remains now, soft, slow, steady, like the last ember of the fire, like the turning of the stars above the roof. Let yourself feel this time. Let it hold you gently in its hands. No urgency, no burden, only the sleep that came after long days of honest work. The sleep of a world lit by fire and ruled by rhythm. You're not in your bed now, not anymore. You're curled on straw, wrapped in wool, under a roof that remembers every season that came before. You are safe here, in this quiet, honest night. Let the stillness fill your chest. Let your eyelids fall heavier. The stone holds no threat. The straw, no harm. Only warmth, only rest. Let go now. Let the past hold you. Let sleep take you again. You are home, on straw and stone. Outside, the first hints of dawn remain far beyond the horizon. A slow promise, not yet fulfilled. The stars above are dimming now, not gone, but fading softly, like ink washed from linen in a gentle stream. One by one, they step back into the sky's embrace, leaving only the hush behind them. In the cottage, nothing has changed, and yet everything is different now. The stillness feels deeper. Or the soft wool of the sheep they watched from the fence post, their thick coats swaying like clouds with legs. Maybe they dream of bread rising in the hearth, its scent curling like a blanket around the edges of the cottage. Children in the medieval world did not dream of machines or glowing screens. They dreamed of rivers, of sky, of stories told in low voices near the fire. Shadows sway like dancers, the kind of dancers found in stories' forest, spirits, maybe guardians of wells, or creatures made of smoke, moving in silence through a world long forgotten. The fire speaks, in its way, crackling, sighing. Every now and then, a coal shifts, and the room receives the smallest flicker of light, enough to reveal the wooden beams overhead, each carved, scarred, and bent by time. And within their grooves, small spiders sleep, spinning stillness in the corners of the night. You might think of these corners as empty, but they are full of silence, full of stories, full of breath. Each board, each nail, each inch of rough wall has heard centuries of voices, and now it listens to your dreams. Beyond the door, the village remains untouched. There is no clang of metal, no carts rattling down the path, no dogs barking, only the rhythm of the wind returning once more. It brushes gently over the thatch, kisses the shutters, then continues on, down the winding path past the fields. It knows this place, knows every roof, every stone, every patch of herbs growing wild beside the road. There is a woman 2 cottages down who grows thyme and tansy near her doorstep. She believes the herbs protect against bad spirits and illness and even heartache. Each night she sprinkles dried petals across her lintel, murmuring the same old words in a voice too low to hear. And perhaps, just perhaps, that's why the village sleeps so peacefully tonight, because of old words, old leaves, old trust. In this world, time does not speak in minutes and hours. It speaks in breaths, in the shift of shadow across the floor, in the way the straw beneath the bed rustles just once before falling still again. A mother's body knows this rhythm. Even in sleep, she feels the changes, the air cooling, the child's body curling tighter beside her. She murmured something in her dream, just a sound, a soft, distant sound, like the echo of a lullaby once sung by her own mother long ago. There are no clocks on the wall, no numbers glowing in the dark. Only instinct, only the inner knowing that soon the fire will need stoking, that the light will rise, that the morning chores will wait by the door with open hands. But not yet, not now. Now is still the hour of sleep. And sleep, in this age, was not a luxury. It was a sacred space, a refuge carved between the labors of sun and storm. Can you feel it? That softness beneath the stillness, that slow, spiraling sense of slipping deeper, not falling, but gliding, as though your thoughts had become leaves floating down a gentle stream. This is what it was to sleep on straw and stone, to be wrapped not in silence, but in the symphony of a quiet world. The fire, the wind, the shifting beams, the breath of someone you love beside you, each a note in the lullaby of the medieval night. You can close your eyes again now. Yes, even tighter. Let them fall like shutters. Let your hands rest heavier against your chest. Let your breathing deepen, not as a task, but as a gift. Let this world hold you, a world where the floor is stone, the blankets scratch but warm, and the stars outside know your name. Sleep comes like the turning of a wheel, not fast, not loud, but steady, endless, kind. The child sighs, the mother does not stir, and the fire whispers once more, you are safe here, among straw and stone, in a world where nothing demands, and everything listens. You are not in your room. You are in a cottage older than names, beneath a roof that breathes, wrapped in wool, dreaming among the ashes of time. Let yourself go. Let the night take you. Let the fire dream with you. The world holds its breath. Outside, the air thickens slightly, touched by the earliest hints of morning mist. It gathers at the edges of windows and along the damp ground, crawling softly across stones, cloaking everything in a silvery stillness. The trees stand quiet, the fields sleep on. Even the moon, once bright above, has faded behind the veil, and within the cottage still warm with breath and embers, time flows without edges, no tick, no chime, only a soft, endless rhythm, the kind that doesn't push or pull, it just drifts. The mother stirs slightly now, not awake, not yet, but caught in the shallow waters between dream and dawn. She dreams of the bread she baked earlier that day, of how the dough rose gently beside the hearth, how she'd marked the top with a cross before sliding it into the oven, a small prayer in flour and fire. She sees her hands dusted white, the warm crust cracking beneath her fingertips. A loaf meant not just to feed, but to comfort, to sustain. Bread was life. Bread was sacred. And in this cottage, that sacredness still lingers in the air, in the dry scent of rye and ash and warmth, and in the soft thrum of sleep. In the dream, she walks through her garden, bare feet pressing into the damp soil, cool with evening dew. The cabbages sleep under wide leaves, the onions wait, half buried in earth, and above her, lantern moths flicker near the thatched eaves, drawn to the warmth of the kitchen fire. She picks sprigs of rosemary and thyme, their oils thick on her fingertips. She tucks them into her apron, and hears her child's voice calling from the door. She turns to look, and suddenly she is not in her garden at all, but beside her bed once more, eyes closed, still dreaming, and the child is just a breath away. All around, the night deepens before it lifts. This is the turning hour, the moment when time balances like a feather on the edge of a knife. No longer night, not yet morning. It is the quietest moment of all, and in that hush, the world becomes tender. You can almost hear the soil resting, the stones sighing in their stillness, the wooden beams exhaling gently after holding the roof all night. Even the wind has fallen asleep. In another cottage not far away, a shepherd sleeps beside his boots. He wears his woolen cloak even in slumber, wrapped around his shoulders like a second skin. He dreams of his flock, scattered across the hills, and the soft bells tied to their necks. The bells do not ring now. Even the sheep are still. In a home closer to the village edge, an old woman sleeps beside her cat. A candle stub rests on a stone saucer, long extinguished. Her dreams are older than stories. She remembers winters with deeper snows, springs that came with birds whose names no one speaks anymore. The village sleeps in layers, each home a pocket of peace, each breath another link in a long, slow chain of rest. And in the center of it all, the mother and child, curled on their straw bed, their dreams held gently by the bones of the cottage. The fire gives one final crack. A log shifts, settling into itself. Ash stirs lightly in the hearth. A tiny cloud, rising, then falling again. Soon, the mother will wake. She will pull the blanket closer. She will ease herself from bed, careful not to wake her child. She'll take the poker, stir the ash, coax one last ember to life. She will add twigs, then bark, then a small split log, and warmth will return, slowly, softly. A quiet ritual, performed daily, and never rushed. But for now, she sleeps, wrapped in the dream of her garden, surrounded by the silence of the hour that belongs to no one. Let yourself feel it too, the slight hardness beneath the straw, the coolness of stone pressing through the thin sack, the way it grounds you, anchors you, reminds you that you are part of the world, not floating above it, but held by it. In medieval homes, there were no mattresses as we know them. There were straw ticks, rough sacks filled with husks or hay, placed directly over wooden frames or stone floors. They shifted when you turned. They whispered beneath you as you settled. And somehow, they held dreams all the same. You are lying in one now. Can you hear it? That faint, papery rustle beneath your breath? Let it rock you. Let it lull you. You are here. And you are safe. Stone beneath, wool above, the fire near, and nothing asked of you. In this village, the world turns quietly. No roads roar, no lights buzz, no wires hum. Only nature speaks, and only when it chooses. Even the animals have taken their rest. The hens are nestled in their wooden coop, their feathers fluffed against one another. The old hound lies curled on a bundle of rags by the stable door. His breath rises, falls, rises, falls. And you are with them, part of this quiet, part of this sleep, a dreamer in a dreaming village. The stars are gone now, but the sun is not yet here. You are in the softest place between them, the gentlest place. Stay here a little longer. Let the hush remain. Let the warmth stay wrapped around your ribs. Breathe in and out. Let each breath take you deeper, not into sleep, but into stillness, into peace. This is your place, among straw and stone, among breath and dream. No time, no task, only this. Somewhere, very far away, a cockerel crows once more. This time, just a little louder, a little surer, a soft but steady sound that nudges the edge of night like a gentle tap on the shoulder. The village doesn't rise just yet, but it hears. The world hears. The mist begins to shift, rolling in slow ribbons across the fields, clinging to low branches, twisting around gates, and slipping beneath cottage doors like a hush becoming breath. And in the cottage, the one with the thatched roof and the crooked hearth, the woman finally opens her eyes. She doesn't move right away. She lies still, listening to the quiet weight of her child's breath, to the soft murmur of ash settling in the hearth, to the distant flutter of pigeons in the rafters above. A faint draught plays at the edge of the blanket. She feels it on her ankle, a single thread of chill, but still, she does not rise. Instead, she blinks slowly, adjusting to the dim morning light that leaks in around the shutters, turning the room from shadow to something just barely golden. In medieval homes, people often woke, not with alarms, but with light, with rhythm, with birdsong, and the chill of morning on their cheeks. And so, she waits, until her breath aligns with the world around her, until her bones remember their weight. And then, gently, she stirs. She slips her arm from around the child. Careful, so careful, one finger at a time, like a leaf falling through still air. The child shifts slightly, but does not wake. A small murmur, a tug of the wool blanket closer to their chin, and then stillness again. A breath, a dream, a world untouched. The mother moves with the quiet of habit. Her feet touch the floor, first the toes, then the heel. She steps into her day like someone wading into a slow, shallow stream. The straw whispers beneath her. The stones beneath that are cool and solid, just as they were yesterday. And every day before that, she goes first to the hearth. The coals are nearly asleep. Only the faintest red glows beneath the grey ash, but there is life there still. She crouches low, her knees brushing against the hard floor. She draws the iron poker from its hook, stirs the embers carefully. A soft hiss, a breath of heat. She adds bark-thin pieces, gathered weeks ago. Then slivers of kindling. And finally, a split log, just one. The fire resists at first. Then, a flicker, a breath of flame. She cups her hands around it like a prayer, whispers something. Not words, exactly, but a sound. A tone passed from mother to daughter for generations. And the flame answers. It grows. The light begins to stretch again. It reaches across the floor, touches the legs of the stool, glints against the rim of the wooden bowl. And now the cottage is waking, too. She goes next to the shelf by the wall, a linen cloth folded over a clay jar, another beside it holding salt, 2 apples wrapped in leaves, one with a bruise, a round of hard cheese, thin at the edge. She lifts the cloth, picks up the cheese, sets it on a wooden board near the fire, takes a small knife, slices slowly, carefully, not wasting a single sliver. Every crumb in a medieval home had meaning, each bite a portion of labor, a piece of the land, nothing hurried, nothing taken for granted. She hums now, a tune without a name, one she hums each morning, low and slow, like a lullaby turned inward. It echoes lightly off the walls, joins the crackle of fire, the shifting straw, the small sound of the child dreaming deeper in the bed. Outside, the sky has sopped, the clouds thin, a pale pink light begins to peek between the trees. The mist, once thick and whispering, is now rising gently, leaving dew behind on every leaf and stone. Birdsong stirs, not loud, but layered, little chirps and trills, tentative and sweet, like shy voices warming up before the choir begins. The village does not leap into its day. It stretches, it breathes, it waits. No one shouts, no door slam. The sound of life returning is slow and thoughtful. A broom sweeping a doorway, the clank of a pail, a rooster calling again, just once more. And from within her cottage, the woman listens to it all. Before she wakes her child, before she gathers water, or kneads dough, or mends the hem of her apron, she pauses, hands folded, eyes hot, not in prayer, but in something older, something quieter, a kind of listening, to the stones beneath her feet, to the fire at her side, to the village that rises, as it always has, and to the breath of her sleeping child. This moment, this pause, is part of her ritual, a thread of stillness woven into the fabric of her every day, a reminder that life, even when hard, can be gentle in its beginning. Let yourself feel it now, this slow morning, this breath of light and warmth, this sacred hush before the work begins. You are not rushing, you are not required, you are only here, present, breathing, still. Let your breath match hers, slow, steady, anchored. Let your body rest in the same cradle of time and stone. Let the fire's warmth reach your fingertips, even if only in your mind. Let the softness of wool settle again over your skin. The day will come, but not yet, not now. You remain between the layers, wrapped in straw, rooted in stone, carried by stillness, and safe, always safe. The fire has grown stronger now, not roaring never that, but steady, sure, a faithful pulse of warmth at the center of the room. The light it casts is soft and golden, playing gently on the stone walls, catching the curve of the wooden bowl, the folds of the blanket, the faint shimmer of dew still clinging to the inside of the shutters, and from within the straw bed, a sound stirs, quiet but unmistakable. A breath held, then released, a tiny stretch, a yawn. The child's eyes flutter open, just barely. The world is blurry, dim still. They blink once, twice, and see the glow of the fire. They feel the warmth of the blanket wrapped around their legs, the scent of wool and sleep still thick in the air. Their hands reach up slowly, fingers curling in the way little fingers do when they re not quite sure they've left the dream behind. They roll to one side, the straw bed crackling quietly beneath them, a soft sound, like walking through dry leaves, comforting, familiar, and then a voice, gentle, warm, their mother's voice. She doesn't speak loudly, she never does, just a soft murmur, a sound like honey over warm bread. "Time to rise, little bird," she says, and the child smiles before their eyes fully open. That voice has always meant safety, always meant warmth. Even when the world outside is cold and uncertain, the child sits up, rubbing sleep from their eyes with the heel of their hand. They yawn again, and the blanket slips from their shoulders. Cool air greets their skin, but the fire's there to meet it. The mother brings over a small cloth, dampened with rainwater from the jar. She kneels, gently wiping the child's face, starting at the forehead, then the cheeks, then under the chin. The cloth is cool, just enough to bring a shiver, then a smile. "There now," she whispers, fresh as a spring morning. She hands the child a small piece of linen for their hands. The child mimics her motions, trying to copy the rhythm of her wiping. It's a lesson, but not a lesson spoken aloud. In medieval homes, these small routines were how children learned, through watching, through doing, through the slow, quiet guidance of touch and tone. Near the hearth, the round of cheese has softened slightly, just enough for a small wedge to be sliced. She sets 2 wooden cups on the stool, one for her, one for her child. They drink warm water steeped in dried herbs. Not tea as we know it, but a tisane made from thyme and elderflower, gathered in the warmer months and kept safe in pouches tied with string. The warmth fills the child's belly. The cheese, though crumbly and simple, tastes like home, like care, like 1,000 mornings before it. There is no feast, no rush, only enough, and in this world, enough is a quiet kind of blessing. Beyond the door, the village begins to breathe more fully, not with noise, but with motion. Footsteps in the frost, the squeak of a wheelbarrow, the low murmur of someone speaking to their goat. A crow calls out, not shrill, but steady, and is answered by another. Smoke rises from other chimneys now, each one curling into the sky like soft ribbons. The day has begun, not all at once, but like bread slowly rising, gently, and with purpose. The child rises from the bed now, feet touching the cool stone. They flinch just slightly, but not in protest. They know this cold. They've met it before. It wakes them, grounds them, teaches them the day is real. Their tunic, rough-spun and woolen, waits folded near the hearth. It smells faintly of fire and thyme. They slip it over their head, arms finding sleeves with practiced ease. The mother watches, smiling quietly. No need to speak. These are the motions of life. She wraps her shawl over her shoulders, ties the ends at her waist. The child pulls on their boots, one, then the other. The leather is stiff from yesterday's dew, but the laces slide through familiar holes. She gathers the bucket, wooden, bound with iron. They will fetch water soon. They will greet the well with bowed heads, drop the pail with a creaking rope, and listen for the deep splash below. The well is more than a source. It is a meeting place, a morning ritual, the first threshold of every village day. As you listen, as you watch this quiet world from behind half-closed eyes, you are part of it. Your breath, your stillness, your soft attention, all of it folds into the story. You are not separate. You are not outside. You are resting on straw. Your feet touch the stone. Your hands feel the wool. And this morning, like the one before it, holds no demand. Only rhythm, only warmth, only a slow return to wake. Let the last moments of sleep burn slowly, like a candle nearly spent. Let its glow warm the walls of your ribs. Let it flicker gently in your chest. You are not fully awake. You are not fully asleep. You are in between. And that is where the story lives, where the world hums softly, where breath and time and memory all blend into quiet. Let that hum hold you now. One more moment, one more breath. A quiet child, a watching mother, a fire and a floor, a cottage nestled beneath a sky that is slowly lighting. You are here, and you are safe, always safe, on straw, on stone, in the arms of time. The morning light has fully arrived now, not bright, but soft, the kind of light that seems to spill rather than shine. It rolls across the rooftops like a gentle tide, touching shutters, stone paths, and smoke trails one by one. It is the kind of morning that stretches rather than and in this village, no one rushes to meet the sun. They rise slowly, by habit, by rhythm, by heart. Outside, the quiet deepens, not in silence, but in presence. A broom swishes across a doorstep. The rhythmic strike of flint against steel sings from behind a cottage wall. 1, 2, 3, until the spark catches and another hearth is lit. Somewhere near the well, a wooden bucket creaks, its handle worn smooth from years of hands like hers. A goose honks softly behind a fence, and the steady clop of hooves drifts from the path where a cart rolls, slow and heavy, toward the mill. These sounds don't compete, they don't rush or press. They weave together, like threads in linen, each sound a part of the whole. The mother hears them all, so does the child, not as noise, but as the fabric of life itself. She lifts the latch on the door. It clicks softly. The wooden plank shifts with a quiet groan, its hinges as old as the beams above. A breeze meets them as they step outside, cool and clean, scented faintly of wet earth, wood smoke, and the green hush of the fields beyond. The child walks beside her barefoot. They've done it many times before. They know the feel of packed dirt beneath their soles, the occasional chill of a puddle left by dawn's dew. The bucket swings gently from her hand. Its rhythm matches her step. Step, sway, step, sway. No one speaks. They don't need to. The walk to the well is sacred. It belongs to the morning. The well stands in a clearing just beyond the main path. A ring of stone, more softened and time-worn. It's pulley wrapped with a thick rope, smooth from use. There's no line today. Not yet. They are early, and the quiet greets them kindly. The mother sets the bucket down. The wood hits stone with a soft knock. She takes the rope in both hands, lifts the handle, and begins to turn. The pulley creaks, a slow, steady sound, like a wheel groaning gently in its sleep. Then, the splash, deep and hollow, a sound that belongs to the very bottom of the world, cool, round, and full of memory. Water is drawn. The rope strains slightly. Then she lifts the pail, full now, the surface glimmering like a piece of morning caught in a bowl. They walk back together, the water swaying slightly, the sun warming their backs. A neighbor waves, a quiet nod, a shared smile. In this village, words are often unnecessary. The day is shaped not by speech, but by presence, by shared glances, repeated motions, the chorus of hands doing what must be done. The baker stirs his dough, the blacksmith wipes soot from his brow. Children gather eggs from a wooden coop, their laughter soft and bright. And across it all, the sky stretches wide and open, watching with the patience of centuries. The cottage welcomes them back with its warmth. The fire, still alive, crackles gently in greeting. The floor is swept now. The herbs hung above the window tremble slightly as the door closes. She pours the water into a clay pitcher, wipes the rim with care, sets it near the hearth for cooking. Then, kneeling beside the low bench, she begins to mix flour with a pinch of salt, a little water, a little patience. The child sits nearby, watching, hands resting on knees, their eyes half-lidded, still lingering between sleep and wakefulness. In the medieval world, bread was more than food. It was time, and warmth, and the alchemy of simplicity. Flour, water, salt, and air, that was all. But in the right hands, those things became life. The dough rose slowly near the fire, cradled in a cloth-lined bowl, warmed by ember glow and expectation. No yeast in packets, no timers, only patience. Only breath she knead, with steady palms. Push, fold, push, fold. The rhythm is like her heartbeat, measured and strong. And as the dough takes shape, so does the day. Let yourself drift, now, not away, but deeper into the scent of the flour, the warmth of the fire, the soft creak of the door as it swings, the way the woolen shawl rests against her shoulders. You are not a visitor here. You are part of this story, a breath among many, a soul wrapped in warmth and silence. Let the pace soothe you, let the rhythm guide you. No rush, no burden, only know. This story, this morning, this tiny village tucked beneath a sky of stone-grey clouds, hold you. Even as your body begins to wake, your mind may still be curled in that straw bed. You might still feel the weight of wool over your chest, still hear the sound of footsteps across the frost-cracked path, still taste the warmth of the cheese on your tongue. Let it stay with you. Let it follow you gently into your own day, not loudly, not sharply, but like a thread wrapped softly around your wrist, a reminder that peace exists in small places, in old places, in places where straw rustles and stone never forgets. The sun has fully crested the hilltops now. Its light spills like warm milk across the fields, touching rooftops with gold, slipping through the cracks in the shutters, and resting gently on the curve of every bowl, every broom, every blanket folded by the hearth. It is a quiet kind of brightness, not sharp, but steady, not loud, but full of presence. The day is begun in truth, and still there is peace. The blacksmith's hammer rings out now, not with force, but with rhythm. One strike, then two, a pause to breathe. The metal sings, a high note that fades into the morning air like a church bell heard through mist. The baker has shaped his loaves and lined them in rows. The oven glows with warmth from the coals below, its open mouth breathing the scent of wood and flour into the lane. He hums under his breath, a melody passed from his father and his father's father, and deeper still into time. Children chase a hoop across the common path. Their laughter rises like birdsong, soft but gleeful, weaving through the legs of neighbors, around the skirts of women gathering herbs, past goats dozing in the sun, and all around, the village moves, not in haste, but in harmony. Inside the small cottage, the fire has settled into its day-long burn, steady and patient. The clay pitcher of water waits near the coals. The bread rises slowly under a cloth, its surface warm and breathing. The mother stands near the window, her fingers twisting a length of flax into a tight thread. Her eyes gaze toward the trees at the edge of the village, not watching for anything in particular, just letting her thoughts drift like smoke. The child plays quietly by the wall, stacking smooth stones into a careful tower. They hum the same tune their mother hums in the morning, a lullaby not just for sleep, but for living. This is what peace feels like, not the absence of tasks, but the softness in how they are done. And you, yes, you, are still here, wrapped in the warmth of this imagined place, but feeling, somehow, that it's not imagined at all. You can feel the weight of the air, cool and honest. You can hear the faint hiss of the fire as it breathes. You can smell the wool and the herbs and the ash. You can even sense the distant sound of a church bell, calling no one in particular, but marking the hour with reverence. Time has passed, but you are not hurried. You are still resting, still held, still breathing in the rhythm of straw and stone. In this world, nothing is wasted. No time, no movement, no breath. To draw water is an act of connection. To knead bread is a kind of prayer. To sweep the floor is to speak with the home itself. And each night, when the day is done, they will lie again on their straw bed, stone beneath them, stars above, wrapped in wool, and sleep. And everything they did, everything they touched, everything they whispered to the fire, will rest with them. The home will remember. The straw will remember. Even the stone, ancient and listening, will remember. And so will you. Now, my dear one, you've wandered long enough through this quiet morning. It's time to come back, slowly, as softly as you arrived. Feel your fingers, still and calm. Feel the breath in your chest, warm and steady. Let your body be heavier now, but not in burden, in peace. Let your eyes stay closed a little longer, if you wish, or blink open slowly, as if the light outside were the very same sun that warmed that medieval rooftop, touched that morning bread, rested on the blanket near the fire. This was not just a story. It was a door, a window, a breath between worlds. It has taught you something without asking. It has shown you that peace is not a place. It is a way of seeing, a way of moving, a way of listening. So when your day truly begins, perhaps carry a little of this rhythm with you. The hush of the fire, the kindness of the morning air, the feeling of straw beneath you, and the strength of stone holding you from below. You have slept on straw. You have dreamed by firelight. You have been still in the arms of stone. And now you rise with the village, softly, steadily, whole. Welcome back.